Well, welcome to Modeling Time with me, Brian Banna. In this video, which is another introductory video, sorry, I keep doing introductory videos and not progressing on my other projects. But for the projects that I'm currently working on, there's a good reason for that. And I'll explain. So, what projects do I have going right now? Too many. On the back table over here, I've got 3 CNEI Bowser 14 panel coal hoppers. The only thing that's holding up those is procrastination, but that's going to end very soon. I just need to, one of them is ready for touch-up paint. And what I'm changing on them is I'm cutting the stringers out of the end cages and just adding brass wire for those. So I just need to touch up paint that, and I almost have a perfect match for the paint. It's a mix of Santa Fe Browns, True Color paint, and I just need to fine-tune that just a little bit and I'll have a great match. So those will go pretty quickly, and then I have to make coal loads for them. I did get the Bowser coal loads, but I'm going to cut the legs off them, drop it down a little bit, and then add real coal over the top and just glue it all in. So that will go fairly quickly. Next project is I took off all of the Bachmann piggyback cars and took them apart, and they're soaking in isopropyl alcohol right now to get the paint off. I've got the decals for them, so that's cool. I need to cut the bolster pin off, and I need to cut the draft gearbox off and add my own draft gearbox that I made for them. That lowers the car down just a little bit, gives it a better stance off the trucks. So that'll go pretty quickly. Those just get painted black, and I'll have them do them in New York Central and my railroad, Carroll Port Terminal in Chicago. So those will get taken care of pretty quickly. Project number 3, excuse me, is my friend's Erie Lackawanna Gp35, which I have been working on now for approximately 3 years, on and off. Just one of those things that you know, I just don't like working on other people's models. I know that sounds kind of weird and kind of selfish, but I just like working on my own stuff now. But I'll get it done. I just want to get it done and out of my project area. So all I have left to do on it really is to paint the cab. I did work on the cab today. Here's the cab. Nothing really special about it. He doesn't want any detailing really done to it. He wants to use it for operation, so he doesn't want anything on it that's going to break. He doesn't want sunshades. He doesn't want any, doodads that are delicate and stuff like that, which is fine. And so I've got pretty much all Kato, what came with the models on it. I did add different journals to match the prototype and a little bit underneath the frame, but that stuff you don't touch and things like that. So I got that going. I hope to have it done before the end of summer. I hope. But we'll see. The thing that I don't like working on Erie Lackawanna models is I hate painting that maroon stripe. It's such a pain in the butt. But I hate doing it. I have a way of doing it to make sure it's nice and straight. I don't like stripes to be, or panels to be crooked and stuff. So I have a way of making it straight. I just have to do it. I just have to get around it. So on the hood, all I have to do is put the snow shield over the inertial intake, add lift rings, and then the grab irons and stuff. I will put wire grab irons on it for them. So that'll take care of that. So it's almost there. The F3B unit. Yesterday I designed a new draft gearbox for it. It basically is like, let's see if I can dig this out. I wasn't planning on showing this, but if I can get it out of here. Gosh dang, I don't have any grippies on my fingers anymore. So I gotta get tweezers. There we go. So it looks like the normal Stewart draft gearbox. But what I've done to it and of course I'll show it when it comes in, is I've duplicated how it connects into the frame. I've duplicated, where how it sets up against the frame and all that. I figured out where the coupler height needs to be because these were designed with the horn hook couplers in mind. So a Katy coupler just flops around in there. So I designed all that to make sure the Katy coupler, I'm using a short shank scale head whisker coupler. So I've got the draft gearbox design so that that coupler doesn't flop around, it sits at the right height. Then I also added that detail, like the Detail Associates has, the little horseshoe shaped thing that goes up underneath it. So that's the coupler basically rides on top of that, and on the prototype there's springs in it so that a side to side movement it'll spring back and things like that. So I've got that all designed, and when it comes in I'll show what it looks like. So that's what I'm waiting for on the F3B unit. I like to work in sequence. I could go further on it, maybe put the grab irons on and stuff like that, but I want to make sure other things work before I move on to the next step. Now, I've got the GP28s that I could work on, but once again, waiting for something. This time for those, I'm waiting on number board decals. I had done the decals and they came in, and I made the stupid mistake of copying the numbers from the RS11, which are a little bit shorter in height to fit the number board glass, and they're too small for the GP28. Now I do have ones from a later run, like these 2814, which are on one of the locomotives, but I need 2802, and the 2814 are the proper size, so those are on there. But I need 2802, and once I get those in, then I can finish up and put put the glass in it, put a satin varnish or clear coat it again over the decals to protect the decals, then put a satin varnish over it all, and then put the peel the window masking off. I'm using the AMB windows, American Model Builder windows for it, and then I can put the what are these things, the windshield wipers on. Now the way I painted these windshield wipers is I first shot them in gloss black, and then after that dried I used all-clad airframe aluminum over them. I was going to use stainless steel over them, but the stainless steel is not the right color that I wanted for them. So I used airframe aluminum. They look all right, and they'll look fine on the model. So that leads me to, what should I do with myself? And it's like, hey, why not start another project? Just what you need is another project. So that's what brings me to this one. No, it's not going to stay Erie Lackawanna. It's a GP7. It will be Bangor and Aroostook. Now I've got all my Carroll Port Terminal and Chicago locomotives going, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a locomotive as a visiting or borrowed power or something like that. And I know that Bangor and Aroostook loaned out their power from time to time. And I thought, I like Bangor and Aroostook, and a long time ago I started modeling it, never did anything in it, but I do like it, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to add one of those locomotives to my roster as borrowed power. Now, I'm wrestling with the idea of how far do I want to take this model. And I could do like what I did with my CNEI GP7 and replace the deck tread plate and, cut everything off the pilot plates and rebuild the pilots and stuff like that. I do have some 3D printed parts that I had made for it that would be fun to put on it. But then I'm thinking, do I really want to go that far with it? I mean, that's good stuff for RPM meets, to do the tread plate and, really spruce up the model and stuff. But I'm doing these models for running. So do I really want to put that much time into it? Because I'd have to cut off the tread plate that's on there now. I'd have to, cut everything off the pilot plate that's on there now. And I'm thinking, just clean the model up and put some Bangor and Aroostook specific details like the horn and the bell and stuff like that, and just enjoy it. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think there is some modeling I'll do to it now, and we'll go over that as I move along with it. I will replace the MU stands because they're a little bit different and stuff. I probably replace the sand fill hatch with a Details West one. It looks much better. I will put wire grab irons on it because this is an old Kato, Atlas Kato model, so it's got molded on grabs and stuff. And I'll probably cut these pilot grabs off and put wire in there. I did that on the CNEI one. That wasn't too bad. And I'll probably put cut the coupler lift bar bracket molded on here off and put a wire one on there. I'll probably do stuff like that. But other than that, I think it's just going to be, cleaned up any mold parting lines, clean up the frame a bit. I don't have to cut anything on the fuel tank because I'm going to do our Bangor and Aroostook Gp7 number 75. And so it had this size fuel tank on it. And the only other thing I think I'm going to do is I bought a bunch of, not a bunch, but a few sets of the the Kato Stewart F-unit trucks, which have separate brake cylinders. And looking at the gear towers and everything, they look exactly the same as a GP7, the Atlas Kato GP7, and they have the same part number on the gear tower. So I am going to see how those fit. So together, we'll do that on camera. We'll see how that fits. So the first thing I need to do is just completely take this apart. Now there will be a period where I'm going to have to wait for parts again because I need to design inside of here some speaker enclosures to fit in here. And depends on how much room I have. I might be able to use one of my double speaker enclosures and set it back here. I don't know yet. I have a spare shell, so what I may do with that shell is cut the top off so I can see inside and how much room I have to put electronics and that kind of stuff. So this kicks off the Bangor and Aroostook GP7 build. It's pretty much going to be a basic build with a few extra nice things added to spruce the model up. So I hope you enjoyed all that rambling. I know I haven't been showing a lot of modeling lately. I will get to that. I promise you I will get to that. It's just this whole waiting period stuff. And just curious, you can put it in the comments section if you'd like to see how I go through and do my freight car builds. There's nothing special about them. No detail parts added to them. Nothing, anything great and unusual with them. But if you want to see the process I go through to, get, let's see what we got here. To get stuff like that done, I can do a model like that. Like for instance, I just finished this car a couple days ago. It's a copy of the AHM Florida Tile car. I know it's not a real car, but I really liked it, so I did the decals for it. And it's got Kato trucks underneath it. And I had to rebuild a little bit of the inside of the end cages. I used the brake equipment is from Tangent, so I had a bunch of that brake equipment for that. And of course these are wire. And I did all the artwork for the decals. I made a new placard to go on here. And things like that, and just spruce the car up and clean it up and things like that. So if you want to see me do something like that, I can do a video on that. I do have to let me see. I do have to build 5 more of these, the Carrollport Terminal and Chicago version of the car. So I could do a video on that. It basically does the same thing as the Florida Tile car. It's just that this one is for the Carrollport Terminal in Chicago. So I could do that. I could do a video on taking a like for instance, this car. This is a stock AccuRail car, but I repainted the ends and roof and backdated the car. You see the decal. Let me see, where's that? Right here. You see the decal there. It was for 768 for the rebuild, but I backdated it to 767 so it would fall into my era and stuff. So, you know, with these cars, you know, building the underframe, no big deal. Weighting them, doing the trucks, things like that, couplers and stuff like that. So I could do a car like that, or super basic build, or super basic cars like this this mechanical reefer, the New York Central mechanical reefer. This car, the only things that I did to it is Katy couplers and new trucks. Oh, and one other thing is a new brake wheel. The brake wheel is pretty hideous. So other than that, it got a gloss clear coat and then a satin varnish. And that's basically it. I did repaint the underframe and the trucks and weathered the wheels and stuff, and it makes a huge difference on how the car looks. So I can do stuff like that. So in the comments section, if you want to see, you know, something like that, it wouldn't take that long. You know, the video wouldn't be too long, although my videos get to be fairly long lately. But I can do a freight car build or one of those kind of things. So anyways, let me know in the comments section what you want to see. And I look forward to this build, and I hope I didn't bore you guys to death with my rambling. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching and staying with me, and I'll catch you in the next video.